All right. So, hey guys, thank you guys for joining on my second podcast today. Today I don't have anybody special, but it's just me. I guess I'm pretty special, you know. We're going to be talking about me a little bit, what I do, um, why I wanted to start doing this podcast, and, just talking to you guys a little bit about just who I am and telling you guys where I come from and whatnot. So, yeah. So, I'm originally from Argentina. And then we moved with my family to Florida, to Miami, and we lived there for a while. I only went there for like pretty sure like maybe pre-K kindergarten. I'm not sure. But then we moved to Virginia, and then eventually we went to Maryland. Growing up, um, life was very different than most people, I would say, because money was never something that we really had. Like we never were poor, but we never were rich. We were never, I wasn't the kid that got to wear Jordans or, I remember when I was in sixth grade and my sister bought me my first ever, I believe it was Hollister shirt. And this one white kid, I remember he came up to me in school. He's like, "Why are you wearing Hollister? You don't have money to do that." And I was like, "Damn!" Like, I remember that upsetting me, but I didn't care. When I was little, I didn't care about people what they said to me. Like, my parents taught me to not worry about what others think of you, And I actually was a victim of bullying. I got bullied a lot. Um, for me, the reason I would say I got bullied is because literally almost every other year I would have to leave and go to a new school, start a new school and whatnot. And, doing that doesn't give you the chance to make friends and, just really um, interact with people and whatnot. But you know, I never really cared about all these, bullies, and I always try to keep me. Uh, so yeah, if you guys think this sounds weird a little bit or not, um, so I bought this mic off Amazon for 13 bucks, and it's an aux cable type connection. It comes with a splitter, so you can connect your headphones, and you connect it right into uh, you know, your head jack in your computer. And I don't know. I think it's pretty decent for 13 bucks. I don't think there's nothing that can beat it. I actually recorded a little song to it. I'll have a. If you guys follow me on Instagram, definitely check it out. And that song might be an actual song or not. I don't know yet. I won't really tell you guys. It might be a surprise or not. But stay tuned. Follow me, subscribe. So I'm from Argentina originally, and Argentina's a beautiful country. It's known for soccer mainly, and Argentina is very different than other countries in South and Central America. Um, at the end of World War II, a lot of Germans moved down there, and there's actually places where they're like they speak French, they speak German. There's, I would say, there's more European influences than anything else there, but Argentina's unique. We're known for the tango, we're known for the food. We have our own style pizza. You guys haven't gotten a chance yet, definitely go to Argentina and tell me what it's like because I want to go there someday and I will eventually. So yeah, as you guys know, I make music. I produce music. I have a couple songs that I've made. I'm still in the process of doing that. But yeah, if you guys haven't heard it, I'll put a description in the link. Let me rephrase that. A link in the description for you guys to listen to my music on SoundCloud. I originally make beats, so if you guys ever want to buy beats or want any particular beats made, hit me up and we'll talk and see what we can do. I love music. Music has been a great passion for me and been in my life literally since I was little. Like when I was maybe like 2 years old, around 3 in the morning, which I would wake up and my family would be like, "What the heck? This little kid is banging pots and pans." And like I remember when I was like 5, I want to say, I'm not quite sure, but I got all the pots and pans from the kitchens and set it up to like a drum set, and I was using the spoons to play. And like I remember my parents gave me my first drum set when I was like 8, I want to say maybe 7. That was the best Christmas present ever. Um, You know, I don't know. I originally started as a drummer, and then I worked my way up to learn to play the piano, the bass guitar. In sixth grade, I was in band, and I learned to play the alto saxophone. Um, I can sing a little bit, but I personally don't like my voice, so I don't try to sing. Um, I guess I can rap, but I'm not very cool. I'm not a very lyricalist, so it's hard for me to write. But I love music. Um, I have this series of songs called Feelings. If you guys haven't checked it out, go ahead and listen to it on SoundCloud. I just did that for fun. It was nothing in particular. I really liked how they sounded, and I wanted to share with you guys. Um, I've been doing music now for about, I would say, 6 years, like producing. Um, but yeah, like I said, I grew up with music, so I've been literally around music since I was like 3 years old, 2 years old. So I've been literally playing since then. Whether it was drumming, producing, mixing and mastering, stuff like that. I learned audio engineering, live audio engineering when I was like 10, and I've been working with it since, ever since. Before I would actually work as it, and I would get paid going to different churches and events, setting up sound engineering stuff and sound equipment, and that was a fun job. But the older I got, the harder it was to be able to get to places because I had people messaging me from California, different states to go in. I didn't have the money nor the transportation, so I had to decline a lot of those opportunities. But you know, whenever I get a chance somewhere nearby, I definitely go ahead and take it. Um, you know, for me, music is very important. I've taken it as a weapon because you know I always remember this one teacher told me once that there was this war. I guess it might have been in the Civil War. I don't know if it was the Normandy War or something like that, where the drummer boy came on the field and started playing a song, and everybody started singing it together. And it's just the power of singing, the power of music can change people's life in an instant. You know, music brings memories. It can bring feelings. It can change, make you do actions. And that's why it's a weapon, because at the end of the day, you can literally do so much with one song. Like, if you guys aren't informed, there's binaural beats. So binaural beats are beats that are made through frequencies to help you either sleep. um, there's astral projection. There's some that are like DMT, helps you release DMT. All of this, of course, isn't 100% accurate, but I believe that if you put your mind to it and you focus on it, you can activate certain things in your brain and chemicals to help you do stuff. And definitely, like, I don't know, I personally like listening to certain binaural beats uh, to sleep. Well, it's not really to sleep, but just to help me concentrate and fall asleep. Because there's days where there's so much going on that, I have to chill out somehow. And that's the best way for me sometimes. You know, like I said, I think music is a weapon, and I want to use it as a weapon. I believe that eventually I can get my music to a point where I can change the world, and that's my main goal, to change people with the stuff I do with my podcast, my music, my videos. Everybody goes through stress, everybody goes through bad things, everybody, fails in life, and that doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean don't go. There's this picture. It's like a meme where it shows a guy on top that he's digging a tunnel, and he gives up, and then the guy on the bottom keeps digging, and literally there's like a foot left of digging, and the guy on top gives up, but the guy on bottom keeps going, and he finds all of this awesome stuff that he was only wishing he could get. And that's how life is. Sometimes when we are at our weakest points, don't give up. Keep going because you're almost there. I grew up, going through a lot of different places. I would always move from one place to the other. I personally like went through bullying, and it was mainly because I had to always move back and forth, so I didn't get to make friends. So I am personally against bullying, because there's people that go through things that they don't tell others because they're just embarrassed or they're afraid. Then you have these other people that will never put themselves in other people's feet and will judge them and do the worst they can do. You know, everybody has feelings and everybody, you know, does a good or bad thing in their life. And the best you can do is try to make it all good because you don't know what that person's doing with their life in their private time. You know, they could be good, they could be evil, but at the end of the day, if you're good, that goodness will contage to somebody else, and it would be a domino effect of pure goodness. You know, these podcasts that I started, I've been wanting to do them for years. I love Joe Rogan. Like he is just awesome. In his podcast, he talks about aliens. You know, he talks about drugs. He talks about MMA careers. He talks about so much. But the reason why I like him so much is because it's literally like a regular conversation with somebody else. You know, he just interacts with you guys, shows you guys links, videos, etc., all that. And I personally like it because his topics are just entertaining, like conspiracies, UFOs, talking about drugs, what they do to you. You know, having important people come on his show and talk about how they smoke weed or they did acid or they did all these things. You know, it's entertaining. It's very interesting because there's certain times that you would never expect these people to be like that and have the success they have. You know, but I believe that whatever you put your mind to it, you can achieve it. You know. So yeah, with these podcasts, I am trying to reach a lot of people to listen to them. Um, Definitely, if you're at home and bored, just tuning in, and I say something that catches you, that's what I want to do. I want people to plug in, the headphones or whatever they got to do to listen to it and just be entertained. If you're on the way home from work or you're going to work, listening to me might make your day better. Or I'm going to be talking a lot about information, about news. We'll talk some fun topics like conspiracies. I'll have special guests, and I always try to make it entertaining and interesting because I know that if I was a listener, I would like to get hooked on. Definitely, there's a lot of competition out there, and starting in the middle of competition is hard, but I don't care. I believe I can make it far, and at the end of the day, I know that one day when I'm old, I'll be like, look, I made this podcast, and who knows, maybe what I said makes me, um, like remember stuff or have a good time when I'm older. So yeah, definitely, you guys stay tuned to my podcast. Keep listening. Um, there's so much that I'm going to be bringing to you guys. So much music. Definitely, if you're an artist, a local artist, or photographer, if you have a business, whatever it is, and you want it to be promoted, hit me up. Like, message me on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever you find me, message me, and we'll talk, and we'll see what's up. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the next one on my podcast. I definitely want to support all the local musicians and artists and businesses because, in able to grow as a community, we have to grow as a community. And that might be like, what are you saying, Mickey? Like, you just repeat yourself. But look, in a community, you need to have people have different positions, different abilities. And if you get all these people together, we can move on and make the world change and make the world a better place. And that's what I want to do. I want everybody to have an opportunity to reach high places. But at the end of the day, we will all realize, we did it together as a team. So yeah, I have a lot of motivations and inspirations. Definitely Joe Rogan is one. He did MMA in his time, and now he's doing podcasts, and it's just the way he interviews people and just have regular chats. I like it a lot, and it inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing now. And actually, it's something that motivated me to start doing podcasts. And originally, I wanted to do vlogs because I became very motivated, inspired by David Dorberg, but I realized, I don't know, I don't feel as comfortable with vlogging, at least yet. Maybe I'll start vlogging later on in life. Um, like actual vlogs. Like I do some videos, but I want to do like actual vlogs for you guys so you can stay tuned with what I do. But who knows? Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll get more confidence to do it. But for now, I'm mainly focusing on the podcast because I don't know. The way I see it is this: say you're on a cut or you're on the way home, or you're on the way to work, and you're bored, and you have nobody to talk to, all you got to do is go to YouTube, search V Talk, and you'll find me talking to either myself or somebody entertaining, and you know, you'll probably learn something new. And who doesn't want to learn something new? So yeah, that's pretty much it. All I want to talk to you guys about today. Really, just who I am. What do I do? I love music. Mainly, what I do is music. I do some construction and part time and whatnot. I love engineering. I love building. Like, I am a very visual person, so if you give me something to do, I'll build it. Like when I was little, I would literally take computers apart and put them back together because it was just so fun. Like there was DVD players, cassette players that I would take apart just to see what was inside. And you know, now I can actually build a computer. I can, especially with sound equipment, like there's so many speakers that I rebuilt and fixed. Even computer screens too. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I am. But there's so much yet I can learn. But definitely I'm gonna try to make the best podcast you guys can hear and listen. I don't want to bore you guys. I don't want you guys to feel like this is it, because life is about war. We can go far. Like, I believe in the spiritual body a lot. I believe that we're not just human beings as the flesh that we see in the mirror. We're just more than that. And you have to take care of yourself, whether it's your health, your physical health, or your spiritual health. And you know everybody goes through depression, everybody has anxiety, and as the world gets bigger and worse, we only suffer more of that. And some people smoke weed to relax anxiety, some listen to binaural beats like I was telling you, some do other experiments, some other do exercises. But what I can tell you guys is that it's all in your head. I've been through depression, I've been through anxiety, I've been through stress, and the one thing that I can say is that whenever that comes, the reason it comes is because I let it. I let it be something and let it be part of my life. And when you do that, that's what brings you down. So next time you feel sad or depressed or have stress, say, you know what? I'm not going to let it bring me down this time. I'm going to figure out how to defeat this stress, this anxiety, this depression, and move on. Because look, at the end of the day, all that is in the past because you felt it and now you don't feel it anymore. It's the process of moving. You go back, you go forward, and you keep going and you don't stop. And that's the key right there. Don't stop. Whatever motivates you to do something, keep doing it. Like my good friend the other day was telling me like that, sometimes we record ourselves and we don't like hearing ourselves. And the reason why is because we are our biggest haters. We are the one who always motivates us down, and that's something that I'm working on currently. I'm learning to love myself in every way, and no matter how I think I sound or how I judge myself, accept it and love myself and keep going, because when you accept yourself, you're able to do so much and so many doors will open. No, I don't know how to keep going with this podcast. Like, I don't want to make it seem boring, or we talked a lot about me, my thoughts about my music too. I love conspiracies. I love talking about aliens. I don't want to say UFOs because UFOs are unidentified flying object. But I believe that the government has reverse engineer out of Earth vehicles, and they actually tested, like, for example, there's drones that are classified that have been reverse engineered and built to what they are today, and they fly way faster than what we think they do. There's this the B-2. The B-2 is an old plane now, and it was a stealth plane, a stealth bomber, and the shape of it is like a triangle pretty much. And I know that when it first came out, a lot of people saw it in the sky and were like, "Whoa, that's a UFO." But now we're like, "No, it's a B-2 stealth bomber," and it flies so high and so quiet, and it's just if humans are able to create something like that, how do you know that other things aren't real out there? For example, Star Wars and all these movies about UFOs and aliens and other galactical worlds. if somebody can just make a story and draw this, how do you know it's not real? You know. But of course, I'm not here to tell you guys what's real and what's not. I believe in a lot of things. I personally have a lot of experience with other world beings. I can say, the more into realms. My favorite movie is Doctor Strange, and the reason I like Doctor Strange a lot is because there's a scene where Doctor Strange goes to the monastery. I think I think that's what it's called. But he goes to the temple where he meets the wise one, and or the ancient one, I think it's called. Where he meets this lady, and she gives him a tea, and in this tea, she puts this honey. And you guys can do your research about this honey. It's called the, I believe, the New Zealand honey. It has an actual name. Well, I'll talk about it. I'll look about it. So this honey is very strong, and it has a lot of what's it called? It has a lot of benefits, medical benefits, and it also makes you trip balls. Like if you have too much of it, it will kill you because it's poisonous because of all the pollen and the who knows what the bees put in it, you know. But it is known from old practices that you know. Also, this honey is very medical. Like literally, there's a similar honey called Monaco honey, and I actually had gastritis really, really bad, and I developed Crohn's through it. So I had to find ways without having to take medicine because they actually prescribe you antidepressants and other worse drugs for no reason. And so I searched Monaco honey, and originally I wanted the mad honey. That's what it's called, the Himalayan mountain honey. It's called wild honey. It's mad honey, and there's a whole documentary on Vice about it. And since that's illegal in the U.S., you can't get it. But I got Monaco honey, and Monaco honey has a UMF factor, I believe it's called, and this is the percentage and potency that the medicine value has in this honey. And I recommend if you do get it, get plus 25, meaning that it's a high potency, because if you have gastritis, it will cure you. Like no doubt, it will cure you. If you have Crohn's, it won't cure you right away, but as a process and treatment, it can. It, excuse me. And you know, if you have a sore throat, this will heal you too. If you have strep, if you have stomach pains, all this, it will help you. It will help you a lot. What that honey in particular does, what Banaku honey does, it helps your inside organs like your intestines. If they're scraped, if they have what's it called? I don't know if it's a hernia, but it will help you. It will heal it, and it will help you regenerate cells so your process can work faster. And that, everything that's hurt will heal again. But this mad honey in Doctor Strange, to get back on it, so she gives him the honey, and he starts having this out of body experience, and he starts tripping. And I personally had an experience like Doctor Strange where he went out of this world, where his body came out and he saw all these dimensions, the mirror dimension, the dark dimension, all this. And you might be like, well, you're crazy, but we're not alone, and we don't see everything that's really out there. We only have two eyes, and some people believe in the third eye. I personally, we do have the pineal gland where it's weird because it's just there and it produces DMT, and it really just works when you die. But I don't believe that we particularly have a third eye like people think, but I do believe that pineal gland is where the Holy Spirit sits, and above all, it's the main part that our own spirit lives, and when we die, it comes out. It produces the DMT effect through the whole body, and you know you can achieve it naturally. You can leave your body and go into astral projection, and that's actually a practice that's been going for thousands of years. Monks practices, and you know you can actually see things and understand things. And once again, just to give you an idea of all this, without not going into like deep details, it's all in your mind. Whatever you believe is what you will see. for example, you have nightmares, you have dreams. The reason you're having dreams is because you've been focusing on something for too much. You've been thinking about something, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing, and you go to the point of thinking so much about it that you forget that you're thinking about it, and your brain will generate these process thinking of, who knows, you can imagine, seeing a person now falling in love with you, or dying, or going somewhere, all these random things that can generate in your head, because your brain is a machine, and your brain can generate stories, it can generate ideas, it can imagination. But just to keep it short and simple, if you can control all that, oof, you're just an awesome person. Definitely, there's so much I can keep talking to you guys about, and um, I'm gonna cut this shorter, this podcast, because I am kind of bored right now, and uh, my mouth is getting dry, and I need some tea, and I'm also hungry. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, for listening. I definitely am gonna have a lot of more podcasts. Don't give up on me yet. Stay tuned. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely hit it down in the comments. You can reply to my messages if I hit you up. Well, that sounds dumb what I just said, but definitely if you have questions, hit me up. Send me messages, comment, like, subscribe, follow, share, do all that stuff for me, please. Help me out, and let's get these podcasts out there, because I want to change the world, and you helping me is you helping me change the world, and it's not me doing it alone, but it's you too. So thank you guys a lot. Stay tuned. Bear with me. Quality is going to be only getting better as I get more equipment. I'm going to be posting more videos as time comes along too. And like I said, these podcasts, if you heard the first two already, which is the first one with Drew and this one, I mean, all I can say is that they're not bad, you know. And I have so much to bring you guys, and I just think that, if you guys like hearing people talk and conversating and feeling like you're in a conversation, this is a place for you. So yeah, stay tuned, follow, subscribe, share, do what you got to do, hit me up. Yeah, and thank you guys for tuning in once again. Uh, we'll be talking more through time, and we'll be talking more conspiracies, more weird stuff, a little bit more about me, my experiences, and whatnot. But yeah, if you guys, all you got to do is listen, subscribe, follow, and I don't know about where I'm standing at right now. Some cold air just came through, so I'm kind of freaked out. But like I said, subscribe, follow, and you know what to do. Thank you guys.